Hello and welcome to Raju Notes channel, your pit stop for weekly current affairs updates. The updates tailor-made for students taking all kinds of competitive exams like UPSC, civils, defense and placement interviews. Please subscribe to the channel and stay updated every Sunday. India this week signed a defense deal with France to procure 26 Rafale marine fighter aircrafts. The Intergovernmental Agreement (IGA) was signed by the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and Minister for Armed Forces in France Sébastien Lecornu in New Delhi. Out of 26 Rafale marine aircrafts, 22 will be single-seater and 4 double-seater, and these will be designed and prepared as per the requirements of Indian Navy. The delivery of these aircraft would be completed by 2030. The agreement includes training, a simulator, associated equipment, weapons, and performance based logistics. It also includes additional equipment for the existing Rafale fleet of Indian Air Force. The agreement will facilitate the transfer of technology for the integration of indigenous weapons in our country and the setting up of production facilities for Rafale fuselage, as well as maintenance, repair, and overall facilities for the aircraft engine, sensors, and weapons. The deal is expected to generate thousands of jobs and revenue for micro, small, and medium enterprises. India delivered a dominant performance at the Asian Yogasana Sports Championship, securing a record 83 medals to top the medal tally at the event in Delhi last week. The host also won 3 silver and 1 bronze medal to end with 87 medals, finishing well ahead of Japan, which claimed 3 gold, 3 silver, and 4 bronze medals. Mongolia, Oman, and Nepal rounded off the top 5 standings. Countries such as Uzbekistan, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Kazakhstan, and Bhutan also showcased strong performance, highlighting the growing footprint of Yogasana as competitive sports across Asia. The championship saw participation from over 21 countries, including Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Uzbekistan. The championship concluded with a grand closing ceremony attended by Harsh Malhotra, Minister of State for Corporate Affairs, along with senior officials from the ASEAN and the World Yogasana Federation. President Draupadi Murmu conferred upon Padma Awards to 71 eminent personalities for the year 2025 at the first civil investiture ceremony held at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. Of them, 4 were conferred with Padma Vibhushan, 10 with Padma Bhushan, and 57 personalities were conferred with Padma Shri. D. Nageshwara Reddy, Dr. Lakshmi Narayana Subramaniam were conferred with Padma Vibhushan for their contribution in medicine and art field respectively, while M.T. Vasudevan Nair and Osamu Suzuki and were honored with Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Among those honored with Padma Bhushan are Nandamuri Balakrishna, Shekhar Kapoor, former Indian hockey team captain Srijesh PR, while former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar Sushil Kumar Modi was conferred posthumously. Those honored with Padma Shri include cricketer Ravichandran Ashwin, former SBI chairman Arundhati Bhattacharya, Stephen Knapp, Ronu Majumdar, and classic vocalist Dr. K. Omankutti Amma. On the occasion, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union ministers including Amit Shah and other dignitaries were present. The awards were given in various disciplines and fields of activities, including art, social work, public affairs, science and engineering, trade and industry, medicine, literature and education, sports, and civil services. Minister for Communication Jyotiraditya Scindia this week announced the Gyan Post service, which enables affordable delivery of books and study material through post offices across the country. Addressing a press conference in New Delhi, he said that Gyan Post has been created with a belief that learning resources should not depend on geography or affordability. He said that books and printed educational materials sent under Gyan Post will be trackable and transported through surface mode to ensure cost effective delivery. He added that these services will be operational from 1st of May. Through Gyan Post, India Post affirms its enduring commitment to public service, helping bridge the education gap one book at a time. By making learning resources more accessible and affordable, India Post continues its legacy of empowering individuals and communities across the nations. India has closed its airspace for Pakistani airlines in wake of Pahalgam terror attack. The airspace closure will be in effect till 23rd of May. The Civil Aviation Ministry has informed that Indian airspace is not available for aircraft registered in Pakistan, aircraft operated, owned, or leased by Pakistani airlines or operators, including military aircrafts during the period. A NOTAM, also called as a Notice to the Airmen, has been issued banning Pakistani airlines from using the Indian airspace. The government this week decided to include the caste enumeration in the forthcoming census exercise. The Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has taken a decision in this regard. Briefing media in New Delhi about the decision, Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said some states have done this while some other have conducted such surveys purely from a political angle and in non-transparent way. He added that such surveys have created doubt in the society. Mr. Vaishnav said, considering all these facts and to ensure that the country's social fabric is not disturbed by politics, caste enumeration should be transparently included in the census instead of surveys. The minister highlighted that it will strengthen the social and economic structure of the society while the nation continues to progress. He underlined that the move demonstrates that the Narendra Modi government is committed to the values and interests of the society and country. Like in past, when it had introduced 10% reservation for the economically weaker section without causing stress in any section of the society. The government has revamped the National Security Advisory Board. Former RAW Chief Alok Joshi has been appointed as its chairman. Former Western Air Commander Air Marshal P.M. Sinha, former Southern Army Commander Lieutenant General A.K. Singh, and Rear Admiral Monty Khanna are the retired officers from the military services. Rajiv Ranjan Verma and Manmohan Singh are the two retired members from the Indian Police Service. B. Venkatesh Verma is a retired IFS in the seven-member board. Iran and United States and Oman have decided to postpone the fourth round of nuclear talks due to logistical and technical reasons. In a social media post, Iran's Foreign Minister Saeed Abbas Arghachi reaffirmed Iran's commitment to reaching a fair and a balanced deal that would end sanctions and ensure its nuclear program remains peaceful. He stressed that Iran is more determined than ever to find a negotiated solution that respects its rights. Earlier in April, U.S. envoy Stephen Witkoff met with Agrachi in Muscat, accompanied by U.S. Ambassador to Oman Ana Escorgima. The April 13 meeting marked the first high level dialogue in a years and followed a letter from former President Trump to Iran's supreme leader calling for renewed negotiations. Iran said it is willing to give diplomacy a real chance if the US shows seriousness and goodwill. The next round of talks is seen as a test of the US commitment to the dialogue. US President Donald Trump has nominated Mike Walsh as the next US ambassador to the United Nations. Walsh, a former soldier, congressman, and Trump's current national security advisor, is expected to bring his experience to the new role. In the meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will also serve as a national security advisor, taking on both roles temporarily. Trump announced his social media platform Truth Social, praising Walsh's dedication to the nation interests and expressing confidence in his leadership. The national security advisor's role has seen frequent changes during Trump's presidency. Previous advisors included Michael Flynn, H.R. McMaster, John Bolton, and Robert O'Brien. O'Brien served the longest, staying in the position until the end of Trump's term in 2021. In Israel, massive wildfire near Jerusalem forced the evacuation of thousands and prompted a national emergency declaration as flames, driven by dry heat and strong winds, threatened homes and key infrastructure. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the situation a national emergency and said the immediate priority was defending Jerusalem. He ordered the deployment of additional firefighting teams and the construction of fire breaks to slow the blaze. Fire and Rescue Commissioner Eyal Kapsi said authorities were treating the fire as one of the most severe in Israel's history. He confirmed the national emergency plan had been activated with firefighting teams mobilizing across the country. More than 120 firefighting teams supported by aircrafts are battling the blaze. Five communities have been evacuated and others remain on high alert. Indian Railways has announced a nationwide competition to design new digital clocks which are to be installed across all railway stations in the country. This competition aims to standardize the digital clocks used on platforms and stations. The competition is open to three categories of participants, including professionals, college and university students, and school students. Executive Director of Information and Publicity of the Railway Board, Dilip Kumar, said that one winner whose design gets selected for use across the Indian Railways will receive the first prize of 5 lakh rupees. Additionally, each of the three categories will have five consolation prizes of 50,000 rupees each. Participants must submit the design online till the end of this month. The US Secretary of Defense Peter Hegseth spoke to Defense Minister Rajnath Singh this week and expressed his deepest sympathies for the tragic loss of life in the attack of Pahalgam. Secretary Hegseth said that the US stands in solidarity with India and supports India's right to defend itself. He reiterated the strong support of the US for India's fight against terrorism. During the conversations, the defense minister told Mr. Hegseth that Pakistan has a history of supporting, training, and funding terrorist organizations. Mr. Singh said Pakistan has been exposed as a rogue state fueling global terrorism and destabilizing the region. He added that the world can no longer turn a blind eye to terrorism. He said it is important for the global community to explicitly and unequivocally condemn and call out such heinous acts of terrorism. The Supreme Court had said that doctors should only prescribe generic medicines and not any particular brand, as has been ordered in Rajasthan. Hearing a petition seeking regulation of unethical marking practices by pharmaceutical companies, the apex court said if this directive is implemented across the country, it will bring a huge change. The three judge bench of the Supreme Court comprises Justice Sandeep Mehta, Vikram Nath, and Sanjay Karol. The apex court remarked that the issue of pharmaceutical companies allegedly bribing doctors will be resolved if there is a statutory mandate for the doctors to prescribe generic medicines. In Rajasthan, there is now an executive instructions that every medical professional will have to prescribe generic medicine. They can't prescribe by any company name. That should take care of the things, the court said. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicated the nation the Vinjam International Deep Water Multi-Purpose Seaport, which is the country's first semi-automated port. Addressing the event, Prime Minister said it is a significant step forward in the development of India's maritime infrastructure. He said that Vinjam Port is a great model of new age development and will bring great economic stability and benefit to the country and Kerala. The Prime Minister announced that the current transshipment at the Vinjam port will increase threefolds in future. The Prime Minister visited the port's operational building and inspected the control systems. The Vinjam port project has been implemented for 8,900 crore rupees under the public private partnership model. The major part of the phase 1 construction of the Vinjam port was completed in December 2024. The Vinjam port, which is the dream project of Kerala, is finally becoming a reality after a long wait of nearly 3 decades. The commissioning of Vinjam port in Thiruvananthapuram will mark a major event in Indian port history, placing Kerala in global maritime map. India and Angola exchanged several agreements in various fields, including agriculture, traditional medicine, and culture. The agreements were exchanged following delegation level talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President of Angola, Joao Manuel Goncalves Lourenco in New Delhi. In his joint press statement, the Prime Minister Modi said that India is committed to take firm and decisive action against the terrorists and those who support them. He thanked Angola for their support in India's fight against cross border terrorism. He said India and Angola are in agreement that the terrorism is the greatest threat to humanity. Prime Minister Modi announced that a defense credit line of $200 million has been approved for modernization of Angola's forces. He added that decisions were also held on the repair and overhaul of defense platforms and supply. He said India will be happy to cooperate in the training of Angola's armed forces.
Well, that's all, friends, for this week's updates. See you soon next Sunday on the same channel. Till then, take care. Bye bye.